Stephen F. Austin is not known to be a football powerhouse, right? They're just a team that you see their name every once in a while and you think it says Stone Cold Steve Austin for a little bit. Like that's pretty much all I associate.
I was just going to say, I'm like, whenever I see it, I think, give me a hell yeah.
Well, they were playing North American, which also doesn't sound like a team. That sounds like it was just like a Bishop Sycamore type.
That's a fake team in NCAA. That's
exactly
one of the non-licensed teams.
Pandas. We're playing the North American Pandas. Well, Stephen F. Austin beat the shit out of North America. Like, just kicked the shit out of them. At halftime, it was 70-0. That's a bad beatdown. Here's how bad that was. At halftime, both coaches got together and were like, this is pretty rough, right? Like, you want to speed this up? And they're like, yeah, cool. We'll speed this up. They played 5-minute quarters for the second half.
That's insane, man. That's just crazy.
Correct response.
Oh.
10-minute second half in the Stephen F. Austin North American game because of the beatdown that Stephen F. Austin was putting on them. Unfortunately, they only managed one other touchdown to make the final 77-0. But Scott, how bad of a spot do you have to be in to just roll the clocks like as a college coach?
I mean, pretty bad because just speaking on NCAA and in video game terms, you can't even change the time at halftime in the video game. So they were doing something that you can't even do in the fake game to speed it up. Like that's
you can't sim it.
Special. Yeah, I mean, because you could sim to end. So that'd have been funny if they were like, can we just like sim the results? And they're like, you only scored one more touchdown. Like, now we call bullshit on that. We want to play out the second half. We feel like we will score more. But yikes, man. That's embarrassing.
Joe, your head dropped immediately into your hands. What are your thoughts on this, man?
At the college level, that's embarrassing. It's just like in high school, they at least have the running clock in the second half. Like if it's like 35 or more in the second half, the clock runs. Do that, you know?
Right.
But like 5-minute quarters, like why don't y'all just be like, look, we're gonna hit the bus. We're hit the bus. You guys don't even have to pay us for this. I actually just quit my job as the coach here. My wife is driving me home right now to wherever North American is.
North American. Yeah, I'm looking up right now to try to figure out where this
I got a feeling it's Canadian. I
was going to say, I wonder if they're from Canada, because this reminds me of in high school, growing up in Ann Arbor, we used to bus in Canadian teams to play them for homecoming because it was a guaranteed win. Like tried and true season, you know, like this is a good way to set your schedule up, but at a certain point, like why'd you wait to halftime to make the change? Like how many did they put up in the first quarter, and did they really think it was going to become more even after that?
Guys, okay, so this was a absolute beat. As first of all, North American is in Stafford, Texas. So they're a Texas school, but they're NAIA.
Wait a minute. Texas football.
Football.
Yeah. I'm with Joe on this one already.
I don't care that it's Texas college. That is still Texas football, and even the leftovers should have been better than 77-0 and 70-0 at half.
The runoff
What's going on right now.
The runoff at any Texas program you would think would at least hang with them.
But Stephen F. Austin is also a Texas school, so that negates. It's like it's multiplying negative numbers. So like,
I guess.
Did you use PEMDAS for that?
I did, yeah. Okay. I did. So it wasn't just 70-0 at halftime, guys. Here were the stats.
This can make it worse?
Stephen F. Austin had outgained North American 565 yards to 33. They had 33 yards.
Hey, that's a couple first downs at least. I was waiting for it to be negative.
They had 342 yards through the air, 223 on the ground.
Wow.
Jesus.
So that means Stephen F. Austin was just throwing the ball all over these guys. And then they were like, you know what? This is bad. We're just going to run it. And they just ran it all over them. And we're like, fuck, should we just shorten the clocks? I don't know what to do anymore, guys. Like, what do we do?
Yikes. Why is this country so soft? They got to play the game out.
I see. That's the thing. I
Texas
don't
like a man.
like. If you're gonna cut it all the way down to 5 minutes, why even play the second half? Like,
Well,
what?
that's the thing. At first, I thought, and Gabe saying when you play on PlayStation NCAA football, no, it seems like someone was playing Legends on rookie level. That's exactly what it feels like.
Do you think North American, like, do they watch the tape? They trying to get better from the tape?
No, you don't
Stephen
even
F.
watch
Austin?
that film. You just move on.
Yeah,
Like, that's a
Is there anything you can learn from that?
Saturday, you tell the team, like, well, we're gonna forget about that one. New season. Season starts today. Let's try to only lose 50-0 this week, guys. All right? 50-0.
Well, you know what?
Improvement.
Joe
Let's
brings
gain
up a great
50 yards of offense this week, guys. All right, here we go. 50 yards of offense.
I kind of want to follow them now, though. I want to see where they end after this because you got to figure they're going back to play NAIA schools at some point. So, I'm curious, does this help or hurt the morale as they build into that NAIA conference schedule against the mighty what?
Your coach literally just said, we're playing 5-minute quarters. That can't be good for your morale. That's really bad. The only time I've seen something like this happen is when there's like numerous injuries and a team is like so depleted that it's not safe to continue in the second half.
I mean,
that makes sense.
You can tell yourself
thank you.
whatever story you want to tell yourself, though. This is a preseason scrimmage. Like, you can look, it doesn't really matter until you get to the Cascade Collegiate Conference's regular season play. That's what it's all about, Michael. Okay. It's all about the Chicagoland Athletic Conference regular season bid to the bowl games.
I mean, this type of game builds character.
Bowl games.
They could run the table from here.
That's right.
If you're the coach, what do you say when you walk in that locker room? Like, what legitimately?
Nobody in the Great Plains Athletic Conference is going to care what happened here today, boys. They're going to come out and give us 110% next week, no matter what happened on this field here today. So let's focus on that going forward. We still have the entire Sooner Athletic Conference championship to play for, y'all. Let's
I love
go.
you just looking up NAIA conferences as
the names are great, man. Like these are pretty solid.